I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumed Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking about the most common spiritual blocks or spiritual traps that you might come across on your spiritual journey and how to overcome them. First thing that I would tell you is your relationship to money. I don't know how many spiritual leaders or spiritual people or light workers have this thing against money, like it's bad, like they have these money blocks, these ideas against money. And it has a lot to do with your physicality and the root chakra, right? Groundedness. And if you're not dealing with this area of building a strong foundation to build that foundation of your spiritual journey from that groundedness and being connected to the earth, it's really going to take you to various directions, and also your money problems will just keep coming up again and again and again. So it's important for you to notice that, do I have some kind of money block or an idea or a relationship to money that I'm overlooking, that I'm underplaying, that I'm not processing? Okay, really start to look at this, because it's a very, very common spiritual roadblock, right? A lot of the people who claim abundance and prosperity and all these things are saying to the universe that I am not that already. So really start to look inwards and begin from that point, and really start looking at your bank balance, start looking at money. I know a lot of people, when they go on their awakening journey, I've heard so many stories of people who go on their awakening journey and then they go like $80,000 in debt. Okay? Why didn't you stop earlier? Okay, what made you keep going and going and going, and bypassing all of that and ignoring all of the signs that you have an issue with money? Okay, so this is why I highly recommend that you get that money block sorted. The relationship with money factor, how you speak to yourself about money, how you speak to others about money, not consciously even, right? It's a subconscious process. So really working through some of those will really help you forward on your spiritual journey and your path, because hey, we're here to have a physical reality as well. Right? And money is energy, just like everything else is energy. The next thing is following silly spiritual trends, okay? Like, hey, have you tried this new bath bomb? Hey, have you tried this, incense holder thing that everybody else is doing? Do I need to be vegan? Or I get this all the time. Hey, do I need to be vegan to start a spiritual journey? I'm like, that's silly, okay? There's so many people on the planet that are eating meat, and also very highly spiritual people, okay? Now understand that when you are tapped in, you're feeling more sensitive to things around you, which is why you might have a sensitivity towards not harming others, therefore not harming animals. However, I know lots of my friends, they're pescatarians, they're vegetarians, they're carnivores. There's a whole range of people, right, who have these ideas on spirituality. It doesn't have to look one specific way, okay? It doesn't have to have a one-size-fits-all model. Do I need to subscribe to, Eckhart Tolle and Sadhguru and all Muji and all these, and I love these guys. Of course, you can learn a lot from these guys, right? But just notice when it's a trendy thing and when it's actually a legit calling and an intuition that you're called towards certain YouTube channels, or you're called towards certain, people's content that you consume. Like, just stop getting so many Reiki healing sessions, DNA activations randomly. Like, just, there's got to be a limit to this thing, right? And it comes from the sense of lack again. It's like, I'm not good enough. I need another DNA activation. I need another energy healing session. I need another this. I need another salt bath. I need another, ayahuasca ceremony. I need another, and it just keeps going. Okay, so cut yourself short. When you find yourself going down that rabbit hole, it's just better to just come back to the truth, because a lot of the spiritual knowledge, the wisdom is within you, okay? These books, these courses, these movies, whatever it is that you're using, right? These supplements, these drugs, whatever you're using to access spiritual states, understand that those are just permission slips. They're just to allow you to access more of your spirituality, but your spirituality has always been within you, right? Your connection to the cosmic, divine force of the Tao, of nature, of God, right, has always been within you. You got to master the matrix before you unplug, okay? A lot of people haven't even mastered money and they just want to live off the grid, okay? I don't recommend that. I recommend you master the money world first before you go off the grid, okay? Get a sales job, a high-paying job, understand the physical 3D reality of the world of doing things regularly, and then when you go off the grid, it's going to be a lot more advantageous and it's going to be a lot more fulfilling because you will have that duality. And again, the next thing is to be able to play within the duality. Stop over-masculinizing or over-feminizing the spiritual industry, okay? Spirituality is for men and women. Okay, I know it's highly saturated with a lot of women in there, specifically white women. I don't know why that's the case, but understand that if you are a minority in this thing, right, to understand that it's okay for you to be a man on this journey as well. It is completely relevant. We need more men doing inner work than ever right now, okay? And that does not mean to be feminized, okay? That does not mean to be overly masculine, right? It means harmony. It means coming towards your own integration and balance. Is to have the beast and the Buddha within you, right? Because a lot of the spiritual teachings are very overly fluffy and feminized and woo-woo and like, hey, just let go, just allow, just surrender. A lot of that is that, right? It's just the yin energy, just letting go. And then nothing gets done. I would say, for me personally as a man on this journey, I'm just speaking from personal experience, a lot of my spiritual journey has been that masculine doing energy of like, man, I need to do a 48-hour fast, right? I need to go on a 24-hour dopamine detox. You know, I need to challenge myself. I need to push past when I feel that resistance not to meditate and then do it anyway, right? It's been that pushing, the doing energy, right? You know, people kind of get confused in terms of this and like where to find that balance, but I think everybody really knows where their balance, their own individual balance is. And in a relationship too, it's like you can't have two drivers, right? You got to have, you know, this power play of leading and following and domination and submission and have this beautiful dance with it and not just have it be like one way, right? The next thing is watch out for your spiritual ego. Okay, the spiritual ego is going to take over when you're on the spiritual journey. You're going to be like, look at all these sheep, look at all these normies, and look at what they're doing. They're not like me. I'm up here. You know, I'm doing greater things. And we put ourselves on a pedestal, or we put others up on a pedestal, like different gurus that you follow, maybe, or different, you know, teachings that you follow. And it's like, you know, you get this kind of strange dichotomy where you're like, you're being so cocky, like, you know, everyone's below me, or I'm higher, I'm more elevated than others, right? And you reach this kind of annoying moral high ground, and you don't get that connectedness in that sense, right? You don't build relationships in that way. It's really important to recognize that factor too, is you can't kill your ego completely, obviously, because you need a healthy ego to survive and get you through this physical realm. But at the same time, you don't want to be overly invested in your own spiritual ego too, and you know that's a trap for a lot of spiritual people I see, is they start to brag about, oh yeah, you know, I did this mantra the other day, and oh yeah, this meditation thing I'm doing, and it becomes like a, you know, a little trophy that you showcase to people rather than your own individual healing and internal journey that is personal to you. I mean, it's very subtle, okay? You got to watch out for that. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Okay, this is a quote that I want to reference here. So if you're enlightened, you're still going to hate your job. If you're enlightened, you're still going to have problems with your relationship. If you're enlightened, you're still going to, you know, be an addict, for instance. Maybe you're addicted to social media. You just understand that these are not your problems, right? You'll find a way to distance yourself from your problems because you realize that you are bigger than your problems. Open up your crown and get it done, okay? To stop waiting around for things to happen on your spiritual journey. The next thing is understand that you got to be versatile and a little bit unpredictable when it comes to this thing, because it's not an expected journey, right? You don't go on a spiritual journey being like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. All right, you just get hit with surprises, left, right, center, sudden, you know, struggles, and it's just like it's like a roller coaster ride. Like a lot of people who describe the spiritual awakening and the spiritual journey is like a roller coaster. It's like, what? Whoa, you're going through these huge waves of emotion and going down and then up, and it's just like, you know, you got to really be able to ground yourself, slow yourself down, and really take time after every jump into your launch pad feelings, right? And understand that you just got to ride these waves. You got to become a surfer, a land swimmer, I'd say, or a land surfer, right? The way I'd liken it is to the rapper Denzel Curry. If you've heard of Denzel Curry, you know him as the guy, I am the one that can band up, right? He has that hype rap, Kendrick-esque, is that a word? Kendrick-esque type of flow, where he's slow, more jazzy, right? Kendrick also went from more gangster rap to a jazz rap, right? From Imperial to Taboo, Denzel did this thing where he was very versatile. And whenever I listen to his music, I don't know what to expect, in a sense. So you want that ability on your spiritual journey to also tap into that energy of versatility. You gotta understand these signs from the universe and the wake-up calls, right? You might be just doing the same thing again and again, but you gotta talk to yourself like, man, I have been eating like crap. I'm trying to fit into society. I've been off of my discipline. I haven't been meditating for a while. I've got to get my vibe right again, right? Speaking to yourself and really being real and authentic. There's a lot of fakeness in spirituality out there, right? A lot of inauthenticity out there in terms of your spiritual journey. So when you can be real, when you can be relatable, I think that's the most spiritual thing that you can do. I think this is a transcended level of spirituality where it's much more community outreach and like helping others rather than making it all about you and like living in a cave somewhere, right? And the thing is, that does help, right? To be able to distance yourself from everything. It does help to be in your own internal space and into your own internal world, because a lot of people are sensitive to energies when they are going through a spiritual awakening, or they're not seeing the results they want. Or understand that you're going to suffer hard on this journey, but understand that when you commit to your spiritual journey, you commit to being weird, you commit to understanding that it's not going to be predictable and it's going to be uneven and wonky at times. You're going to sail through the lows, okay? Understand that. The next thing, understand you got to love yourself first. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how many times I've got to reiterate this fact. But I see so many people so obsessed with this whole soulmate twin flame obsession, okay? Now, I have nothing against soulmates or twin flames for that matter, okay? But understand that as twin flame is going to come into your life, sometimes when you least expect it, you attract what you are, right? So they will come into your life when it needs to come, when it is aligned towards your beingness, when you are at that high vibration, where you are not overthinking the journey, right? When you're getting out of your own way, when you're actually on purpose and on code, I would say, on code with nature, right? And this is a deep and sacred thing, right? It's not like you can do a course on twin flame activation or something, or like, manifest your way into getting a partner. Like, yes, those things do work and they can work within the limits. Don't depend on those things like crutches, right? Don't depend on the twin flame meditation to get you the result. Instead, really put yourself out there, conscious dating circles, right? Hum is a great site that I'm going to be a part of very recently, but yeah, it's an online, meetup for spiritual people. The soulmate thing, soulmates come much more easily, and the thing is, you can have more than one soulmate, right? There's a belief that there's only one person meant for you. Okay, in my personal experience, there's more than one person that's meant for you, and they're meant to connect with you on the soul plane, right? This cycle, soul cycling, right? In the sense, understand that, because a lot of people get overwhelmed by that. Like, oh my, this is my one true love, right? And they get so scattered on the spiritual journey. I know lots of people that have, polyamorous or multiple relationships as well who are thriving. It's just you got to understand your own values and boundaries, right? And understand that energy is sacred, so who you're sharing it with is sacred. Clevens shared something very interesting. A question was that, would I trust this person to live in my body for a day? Okay, very good question, brother. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to share that with the audience too. He's in the Flow Jedis group, so if you are a part of the Flow Jedis, definitely join the Telegram group. Just the link. Just gotta click it. Okay, join it. Okay, download the app, and say hi. And if you want accountability on the spiritual journey, it's definitely important to have a tribe with you. Okay. Yeah, again, the last thing that I just want to reiterate is don't put people up on pedestals, right? These YouTubers, spiritual YouTubers, Teal Swan, Ralph Smart, like all the people, right? I've had Ralph Smart on my podcast before, Aaron Dowdy on my podcast before, but it's not a big deal. These are just people. We treat them like they're some kind of advanced alien race or something like that. Look, they're just people, right? They're just tapped in. You can tap in yourself. You don't need to put yourself up on a pedestal or them. Understand that they are you and you are them. They're a mirror of yours. A lot of people, they just kind of float around with this thing, ambiguously searching for answers instead of actually having a purpose. Like, hey, I want to improve, my gut health or something like that. When you give yourself a very clear path towards your spiritual journey and you're like, hey, I want to feel like I have much more energy, and then you work on maybe auras or whatever you want to do, right? So just figure out where you want to go and really stick to it, and it's going to go like this, but that's okay. You learn to be the surfer along the path, okay? So I hope this video helped you out today. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.